All right, in this video, we are going to work through the following problem. The problem is from Java. It's exercise 1.28. It says, to represent a triangle, we need attributes for each of its three sides and operations to create a triangle, calculate its area, and calculate its perimeter. Draw a UML diagram to represent this triangle. All right, so I'm going to use Physio to do that. And choose UML class diagram. This time I'm just going to go with the blank one. All right, and I'm just drawing a class. I'm going to just drag it out of there. All right, and then once I drag the class out from these quick shapes, then right click and edit text. So the name of the class is going to be triangle. And then for the fields, you can actually do insert here as well. So although I've just edited text before in the past, so I can insert a member after here as well. And one like this. All right, and then edit text on those. So on this one, I'm going to call it side 1. And I'm going to make the type double. And then on the second one, I'm going to make it private, so a minus. And the name, I'm going to have side 2. And then type double on it. It would be fine if you chose int as well. You could do that if you wanted to. Remember, we're talking about the design, so that a lot of that stuff is going to depend on how you want to design things in your class. So, all right, so there are 3 fields, one for each side. Next up, it says operations to create the triangle. So that's talking about a constructor. So the constructor is generally going to be public and have the same name as the name of the class. And then it's going to have 3 parameters, right? Side 1, which is a double. Side 2, which is a double. And side 3, which is a double as well. And close parentheses. And for constructor, right, it's not going to have any return type on there. So there's the constructor, and that's for creating. Next up, to calculate the area. So I'm going to right click and do insert member after and edit text. Oops, wrong thing. So I'm going to make this public and call it calculate area. It doesn't really need any parameters here because of the fact that I already have the sides as fields in this class. So I don't. This method inside of this class would be able to calculate, use these fields to calculate the area. And the return type, right, should be a double. Even if you chose as your design to have these as ints, which is acceptable, the area would most likely be a double, right? A decimal number. It's probably not going to come out to be, or it doesn't always come out to be an int, right? Even if the sides are ints as well, right? So So that should be a double, and then to calculate the perimeter. So right click out of this, and then insert member after, and then right click, edit text, and that's going to be public most likely. Again, we don't need any parameters, right? You would need to know the lengths of the three sides in order to be able to calculate the area, but that's available right here. They're available as fields within this class, so no parameters. And then the return type on that is going to be a double, especially, you know, if the sides are doubles, then this is going to be a double when you add those up. If you did make these ints, well, then the perimeter would be an int, so you could do that as well. Okay. Again, there's nothing, you know, this is more concerned about the design of things. You want to try and get that right up front as much as possible, because that's going to help in the long run when it comes to implementation. But you know, it's not like there's one set answer for these problems when you're drawing the UML diagram. As long as it didn't really say, right, the attributes here. It didn't say what type they needed to be, so that's a judgment call. So as long as you make them a numeric type for those, you're good. Some of these other things, though, you know, are dictated by, it makes numerical sense that this should be a double here. The area. If these are ints, then, you know, you could have made this one an int, no problem. So, okay, and that is it on this problem.